Original flavored
That's what this
yogurt is the Satan spawn of yogurt.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree.
basically, yeah.
Original
Any
flavored
kind.
yogurt. Just yogurt flavored yogurt.
Yeah, it's non-flavored. It's not vanilla. It's nothing.
Yeah, just yogurt.
I
It's there
can't
for
even,
texture.
I can't even comprehend what that would taste like.
Texture. It tastes like texture.
It's like water. Textured water.
Basically.
Yeah.
Slimy water.
Heroes, villains, and sidekicks. Thank you for joining us once again for the Umbra Initiative post show. The amazing Patreon exclusive show where you, the patrons, get to enjoy some behind the scenes content as we discuss episode 6 of season 2.
And yogurt.
And lots of yogurt.
And yogurt.
Yogurt, which is good for your stomach.
I've never had Gogurt.
You've
What,
not
really?
lived.
Yeah,
You've
I've
not
never had
lived.
Yogurt's pretty
Gogurt.
good.
Yeah, never had it.
It's fake yogurt.
We'll have a rager with just Gogurts.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Go upside down like a keg stand.
How many Gogurts do you think you could eat before you get sick?
Yogurts are pretty small.
All
Yeah,
of
that-
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not. I did eat a whole box probably.
Yeah.
How many's in a box?
Like 8 maybe.
Oh, all right.
They're like pretty
Little
slim.
tubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freeze them. Even better.
Really?
Oh
done
yeah,
that.
those are so good.
I've never done that.
Gogurtsicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're bomb.
Yep.
Gertsicles,
Do
they
that,
call
yeah.
them.
Gurtsicles.
You just unlocked a memory for me.
Got the Gert.
Got the Gurt.
The
The Gurtsicle.
Next character.
It's me, the
That's gonna be my stretchy arm dude. Gurtsicle.
Gertsicle Rex. All right. Episode 6. All right, yeah, we have our. I think this is the first sort of quote unquote like dungeon crawl,
Yeah.
right? Obviously,
Yeah.
less. It's pretty. It was a very linear dungeon. Let's be real.
Right.
I'm literally on track, like on railroads, right?
Yeah.
Railroaded you.
One way. Got
Nope.
Right,
No pre-scene.
Yeah, just went right into it.
right into business.
Started off falling off the train.
Amazing.
Yeah, my
Pretty
bad.
fun. Ike with the save.
I know.
Yeah.
I caused the problem. So really net nothing.
Oh, well, you fixed it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Nothing.
Barry
you know,
usually causes problems and doesn't fix them.
True. It's,
No,
that's
no
very
harm,
true.
no foul. Yeah, but you recovered from that pretty well. And then it was time to start going through the place. So you did find the canister, but Bowie found it.
I left with 3 canisters.
Wow.
Not that. I mean, I don't know if they're still there, but
Find out.
Yeah, I guess
with
we'll
3
find out.
unopened canisters.
I mean, I left with something too, so
Yeah.
we'll see if any of them exist.
In fairness, I did leave my sword, so net, you know.
Yeah.
You'll have to see
Yeah. Yep.
what they, you know.
When they don't appear.
Yeah, so you guys go in. So the obviously it was split up, themed around the train, the different carts of the train. This entire Umbra based around the memories and mindset of
Jean.
Gian Quartet.
The guy.
You go into the first cart, the dining cart, the velvety. What it actually is, it's a club. Like, it's not actually a cart at that point. It's literally a jazz club that Gian liked to go into. And you meet a familiar face, one you just met a minute ago,
Yeah.
a little younger.
Jean 1.
0 point.
0.1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0.1 Jean. 0 point John.
Who's much more reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a cool dude. Kind of.
Could have been friends.
Yeah. Alcohol
Yeah, yeah.
didn't kill us.
It didn't kill us.
Yeah, we learned a lot about him as we went through. He's a very interesting character.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool. I liked a lot of this. I feel like a lot of this episode was like half serious and like really interesting, and half like, well.
Time to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a complex character. I liked him.
He decides to join you guys. Have a nice little brief conversation with them. You guys let him pass. I mean, what was going through your characters' minds when they met young John?
And Barrett immediately was like, I've known people like this before. He reminds me of young people I knew in the military.
Oh, interesting.
That's why he like immediately sat down and was like, I'll have a drink with you because I know what's happening.
I love that. I love that.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I had a real frame of reference for anybody for that, or at least Ike didn't. So more of just suspicion.
a lot of what Ike will get out of this episode happened definitely towards the latter half of it. But I mean, I'm not saying he didn't get anything from beforehand, but I'm just saying like the bulk. It seemed like Ike's attitude at this point was like, I'm gonna follow the adults.
Yes.
Like,
A lot of
okay,
mistake here.
Barrett, Arabella, you know, and that even translated to their combat at the end. That we'll talk about later on.
Yeah, I think Arabella's more like skeptical that it was not young John at first, or but was interested enough to know like, okay, like, because you know, obviously she's not a fighter, and so getting information about like why, what is motivating you, why do you have to like,
Yeah, you went immediately into like investigate, like, okay, how.
like what can
But
we,
it seemed genuine, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, what can I get out of this dude to like better ourselves? It's more
Right.
like, who are you?
yeah, it was more like, yeah, trying to get to know the like John and like try to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
Especially seeing like the past and being like, well, like, you know, person isn't the same person that they were, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And so understanding that and being like, oh, how could we not do this?
Yeah. He was also revealed to be at this point a Chicago Police Department forensic photographer.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
You guys decide, okay, we'll take you along. We'll go to the next cart. That was actually the parlor cart, not the dining cart. The dining car was the first one you were in. So that was the parlor car. This one is the flat car. You guys open up into this flatbed, step in, and it's just a cityscape
Yep.
around you. Yeah, that one is when things started to get a little messier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely like dove deeper into who he is as a character.
Yeah. Which, like, I really liked a lot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the time it's easy to show, like, good characters. In the sense that, like, morally good, right? Like, oh, I did all this, but it wasn't, it was starting to become, like, not necessarily, like, after, like, when he's just like, yeah, I just kept doing it. And doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and, like, going down that road of, like, that choice, I guess, almost.
Yeah, there is, you know, a theme to the character. Like, there is, like, there are, like, for all your characters, every character, there is a word you can use to describe them and the general themes that surround them and their conflicts and everything. If you guys can guess it, I wonder, onto there as we go along, as we talk about it more. But yeah, I mean, what was going through your characters' heads during the darker stuff? So you got to see this young John. He seems innocent enough, friendly. Like you said, got you the drink, shared smoke, all that. And now you saw, you know, the bloody room of limbs everywhere, the hanging corpse with carvings all into him.
Yeah.
What was going through your characters' heads?
I think it reinforced what Barrett thought about when he saw young Jian. It reminded him of someone in the military. When he saw that, it kind of clicked with Barrett and being like, I get this. Like seeing viscera so much that you just become desensitized to it. And then becoming so desensitized to it, you become comfortable with it. And then becoming so comfortable with it, you crave it. And that's why I mentioned I had a throwaway line saying that they're resensitizing training.
Yeah, I
work
noticed
for me.
that. That was a great line.
Because I knew someone who was a Marine sniper growing up when I was in high school, and he had to go through resensitization training, where they literally teach you, like, it is not okay to enjoy shooting people.
Wow.
And you have to, like, do that for months until you realize, like, oh yeah, I shouldn't be violent in everyday life.
So Barrett skipped that.
Yeah. And that's kind of what came up in Barrett's mind, was like, this can be a spiral that people go down when you live this kind of life.
Okay. What about you two?
Wow. I mean, I marked off another trauma point. We're up to 9.
There we go.
Well, that's
Oh
a lot
my
in a short
god.
period of time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to snap.
I know,
I
right?
don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it's like, because it's funny that Barrett is more knowledgeable about that. Or I think it's interesting that Barrett is more acclimated to that environment, which I think actually was, how do I say a sentence?
How do I speak words?
Because I feel like since we do so much, like, you're in town all the time and you're very much out of place, I feel like this was like a really good place for Barrett. Like, this is like
natural.
exactly like
That's cool.
where like Arabella's not like, she's like forced into this and just like,
Well, we have like
following.
various levels of comfort happening
Right.
with the player characters here, where Arabella is just pushing through
Yeah.
because she knows this is going to happen. She's accepted it, but that doesn't mean she likes it or
Yeah.
anything like that. Barrett is full, like, I understand. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
He's more comfortable in this setting. And then Ike is this interesting flavor of just, he's young. He hasn't experienced anything like this. Just absolutely, it just seeing Ike's reactions throughout, I'm just like, oh god, all the shaking heads, like, I don't, oh god, oh Rick, I don't, you know, like,
Yeah, I like that a lot.
and as they push through, it just gets kind of worse and worse
Yeah.
into that regard.
Yeah.
Then it splits into the next card.
Before we get to that,
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't know if any listeners, but the rooms or the cards we went through got less and less intimate as we went forward. Like they were bigger, opener spaces, larger spaces, and less in them as time went on.
True.
That's a good point.
I don't know if that says anything about Dion's psyche, but it's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there is definitely something to that, right?
Did you notice that, Colby?
Did you?
Honestly, I didn't.
Well, it
I
worked.
really didn't. It just kind of turned out that way.
Yeah.
That's really great that you picked up on that. I think that's awesome.
Storytelling ability.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great. The next rooms that show up, that's double staircase, separated the party.
Yeah.
We had the upper observation or dome car,
Yeah.
and then the sleeping car down below.
I'm curious
You guys had
as
a cool fight.
What?
I'm curious as to what made them separate.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
It was a desire from Ku.
Interesting.
I just say that because it's not. There's no way you would ever find that out.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
Like, and it's sort of alluded to when she meets Arabella down below in the betting set, that she wanted specifically to talk to Arabella, to see Arabella alone.
Okay.
That I noticed that in season 2, and I've said this before in season 1, and I'm like, oh, I stray away from horror. It becomes like it adds a little spice instead of the base flavor, right? And it turns, like, this series turns more into like this action thriller type thing as it goes on. But sometimes I, just like in season 1, I like to try and reel it back in to those horror moments, which that's what Arabella served. Essentially, you have these two tiers. You have the action portion up top,
Yeah.
fighting all that, and then below you had the complete horror, like serial killer,
Yeah.
and then the demon underneath kind of thing.
That
Yeah.
worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that demon.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, that was very. I was surprised that it was there, and I don't know if it was truly there or not, like at all. If it was ever there, or if it was a reimagining.
What I think is interesting about that specifically is the demon, if it was not really there, is in your head, but you are currently in Jian's head. So whether it is real or not, does Jian know it was there?
Wait,
He
that's a
technically controls the whole space. That's curious
good
to me.
question.
Right?
It's a really good question.
Here's the thing. I only assume that yes, he does know. Because I think the only way that could have happened was if he knew, and especially because Ku knew.
Right.
then he had to have. That's like my thought process.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's
this,
with like, if this person knew, then they probably knew.
Right.
And if they, and because she mentioned the unerring,
Uh-huh.
so I was like, okay, and that's like kind of top dog ish. And so if they know, then it goes down, right? Like, but not, I don't know. If they know, then they know, and then that person might know that one, and like,
They sent out a memo. Everyone.
yeah.
I think I followed that.
Up top, so we had Ku, the bottom, fighting Arabella.
Pitifully.
And then up top we had Ike and Barrett fighting the inner demons, so to say, in this drug-filled room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thus began a long string of very bad rolls for all of
Oh
us.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
goodness.
Terribly tonight.
I think this is the worst we've rolled so far.
Is that what happy fish means?
I hope not.
This was not a happy fish episode at
Was it?
all.
I mean, maybe it was.
Maybe for Colby. but-
happy.
Maybe the fish means that we flopped. So I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe.
We were like flopping out of
We
water.
were.
Like, please, anything above a 5.
You guys mopped up the minions pretty well.
Yeah, that was actually cool fight.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it took some injuries along the way, but,
Yeah.
but you mopped it up.
Yeah.
2 natural ones.
Yeah. This is all because I said I enjoy ones more than 20s in the Discord.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's why it happened.
But you guys end up defeating your respective and/or surviving your respective battles.
Yeah, definitely didn't defeat.
And went off to the last car,
Yeah.
which is the driver's car.
Yeah. That's when the real fight started.
Yeah.
After some interesting scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, that camera, dude.
That was a very cool
That was so
mechanic.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. His camera set it basically like captures moments in time, and then can replay them.
Did you see that anyone play that game, Madison?
Huh?
Oh, the horror game.
The horror game?
No.
Because that's where it brought me. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Well, this
Except-
whole campaign is pre-made, so
Yeah.
I know.
How about
It
that?
was not exactly the same.
I mean,
just
it was good enough for him to think it was pre-made.
yeah.
That's fair.
That's a compliment.
yeah.
It had 3 abilities. One was it could heal, but basically it would return you back to an earlier version of yourself. It also energized, and the camera would take the fatigue.
Oh, cool.
That's interesting.
Then there was
Oh,
a.
I have the camera right. If I take it.
Then basically he had a variable power, which was the memory power, which he did against your RAM, against he could copy people's attacks and make you remake saves again.
Damn.
And then lastly, he had a teleport ability with it, where he could teleport to a space and then appear there.
That's awesome.
yeah, that was super cool.
In addition to all his gift.
Oh yeah, the roof, the fan hammer.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a cool fight. You also got to see Ku use her grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yep.
Terrifying.
Got that directly in the face.
Yeah, we all suffered from that in various
Yeah,
ways. Like
yeah.
different, unique
Yep.
yeah.
horribleness.
I really wanted to shoot the grenade when she shot it.
I know,
really?
you tried.
Only-
You tried. You made up for it though with the hostage shot.
Yeah, dude, I thought I was
Yeah, that was-
dead. I was like, he's gonna roll on that one right now.
Yeah, I thought something bad was gonna happen with that, but I'm glad it didn't.
For sure. It was like, all right, what character am I making next?
In fact, it was the opposite of a 1. It was an amazing.
a
It was a
crit.
crit. It was a crit.
That was a
Yeah.
crit. That was a lot of cool moments in that fight. I loved Ike at the last moment, not the very last, but the one before with Ku, where you didn't hit, and like the callback to the freezing.
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
that. I think that I would love again, animated, or like if this is a graphic novel, I would like get the goriest person to draw that piece of her looking with half her face missing, and
Crazy.
so gross, so cool. I thought that was a great callback.
Yeah, there were a lot of cool moments in this fight, honestly.
Yeah, there were a lot.
Yeah, all the different shots fired,
Yeah.
and then Ike at the very end taking the win, the W.
Yeah.
Well, was it though?
And a trauma.
I don't.
Yeah, very brutal.
Yeah, it was.
He definitely did not realize what he was doing until it was done.
Yeah, I imagine like him like
Yeah.
screaming, like
Yeah.
tears, like just this won't kill him, we'll dodge like all the other ones.
Yeah.
It'll just, I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just skewered right through
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was oof.
the dude. That
I'm-
sword is,
Pretty cool.
that sword does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it does. It's lost though.
Your Saiyan move was like ridiculous. That makes you so powerful.
Oh, the heal.
Yeah, well-
the like super mode.
The core overdriver.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
well, we haven't seen the end of that yet.
True. True.
There's still some bad
Oh
stuff
my
that's
gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
coming. But thank you. Yeah, it was a
Very
good
cool.
combo.
Yeah, that was a great end to fight. Apex always looking awesome.
Yeah.
Going through, looking super
So
sick.
great.
Arabella just getting fucked.
Yeah, I was on
my
that
God.
fight for quite some time.
That was rough.
Dude, I just like we were all rolling bad, right?
Yeah,
And
oh,
so
yeah.
I also was just
You
rolling.
got some clutch, like the force field reactions.
yeah.
You definitely
Good.
saved our asses a couple times.
Yep.
That's all I'm good for.
Absolutely.
If I can't do that, what am I doing?
You tanked the enemy and you healed us at the
Yeah,
same
right.
time.
I really thought for sure you were gonna shoot me and I was gonna die. I thought it was gonna be a new character.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine the
Yeah.
Dude,
scenario
I
where
rolled a
Barrett-
thought
one.
God, he already hit me with the thing earlier. I was
I
like,
would
this is it.
have, I would have loved to have played that
Mhm.
as he takes the shot, and the shot was good enough, but Ku just
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
was just like, no, and you just blow Arabella. Oh god,
Yeah.
that would have been
Mission accomplished, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mission, yeah.
Barrett's like, can I join now?
Yeah.
Can I join you guys again?
They're like, holy shit. Yeah, I thought for sure I was making a new character. I was not confident about that.
I almost tried to take another turn to aim,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
If
I
you
was
did
like,
that, she would have
yeah.
probably put you into a dying state.
I figured she would just like be okay enough.
Yeah, exactly. Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made an accurate shot. Did the best I could and it worked.
It did work.
Worked
It
out
did
amazing.
work.
No,
Yeah. And Arabella didn't even know it.
All in all, pretty rough fight. I mean, but you
Yeah.
faced two members of Bleeding Edge at once.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep.
Rough.
One of them
fun.
was tossed out
Yeah.
towards the end of the fight.
Was
Um,
that motivated to protect Ku or
Yes. So when she sustained
that?
a certain number of injuries, it would trigger that.
Her die move.
Yeah, she would do something, and then Jian would be like, "No, you are fucked up right now. I can't see you like this," and booted her. What did she do?
Yeah. Now she's mad now.
We're gonna have to
I don't have to
deal with that.
I think we're going to see that grenade launcher again in the
Yeah.
relatively
Oh, yeah.
soon.
Thinking
Absolutely.
IRL, you know.
Busting that
I have to
door.
be on some sort of FBI watch list because I've been looking up like these weapons, like trying to like study up on them and stuff.
You're like, all right.
You guys ended up defeating Jian. He gives you
The camera.
a camera.
Gimme.
A piece of cardboard.
Yo.
Ooh, with words on it.
See. A Canon 5D Mark IV camera, kept in immaculate condition. Looking close into the lens reveals a swirling red and black cloud. Turning it on displays a black triangle before it resumes its normal function. The more regret you hold, the heavier it becomes. Oh shit! Post-cognition.
Yo.
Limited to memories of the user. Limited to still.
Limited to
image.
memories of the user, and so you can
That's
like
pretty
see
fucking cool.
your own past.
Yeah, I guess so.
Huh.
Wow.
Interesting.
To the memories.
The
of
more
user.
regret you hold, the heavier it
Interesting.
becomes. That's fucking cool.
So yep, a new bygone.
That's very
Nice.
We
cool.
should bring that up next episode too for the people actually watching.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
I like that.
It's gonna be great.
You take his camera, and he dies. Yeah.
Yep.
You guys had to go hit the brakes on the train.
Well, before that, Barrett, Barry
Oh, yeah.
took a little
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
snack.
A little extra off the top.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Going back to hitting the sauce, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Who knows if it'll actually still be there?
I know.
Leave.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the thing. The trigger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And more importantly,
Yeah,
yeah, you take the you pull the brakes, and out comes the Genesis trigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy to forget that happened, considering everything else leading up to that. But yeah.
It's true. That's the big one though.
Misty will be pleased.
Or mad.
Agatha?
Oh, right.
Yeah, I wanted to try a little something with the taking of the auto injector. More just thinking like Barrett has information he wants from it.
Okay, interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I think any overall thoughts on the episode?
I thought it was. I came into this episode expecting immediately start combat and do like in
Me
combat
too.
for
Yep.
3.5 hours.
Yep, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But it was really story driven. Like even though there was like multiple hours of combat, I really liked the story. I thought Jean was a very good character.
Yeah, it's a shame we won't see any more of him.
Well,
Or will we?
He shows up in the Halloween episode just as a zombie.
Yeah.
This is in poor taste.
Oh man. Yeah, this episode is. Yeah, like you said, I thought it was gonna be like a whole bunch of combat. And it was, but not. Kind of. It was. Had a lot heavier moments than I thought it would.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be like that. Like,
It was very heavy.
yeah.
My word that I'm guessing to describe Jean is addiction.
That's what's on the card.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
is it?
Yeah.
Did read it.
Oh, awesome.
Yep,
Addiction.
exactly.
Yeah.
Literally
Oh,
hit it
alright.
on the
Yeah.
nail. Yep, nail on the head
Yep.
there.
Nice.
Perfect.
damn.
Yeah, he represents addiction, addictive personality. The idea that, you get this fix, he experiences a lot, but then it affects him less
You
and
need
less.
more and more.
Yep, and it makes you go into greater vices until your eventual self-destruction.
Yeah.
So, and I think if we read into it, if we're really going to get English class into it, like what you said with the rooms getting emptier and emptier,
Yeah.
like I think that's a great point, right? Like they get this ability to feel anything or to strive to be a better person or to who you are becomes more hollow and emptier the deeper you go into his addiction, So, and then you ended him. You do enough crack and you get a sword through your body.
Damn.
Moral of the story is don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Only some.
Legal ones in your area. Umber Initiative does not
only-
disclose any. Yeah, well, that's episode 6. Next week is the Halloween episode.
Hey,
Yeah,
it is
I'm
gonna
so
be
excited.
hard to leave off on that note.
It's true.
Yeah,
People will be
that's it.
skipping like a whole week, which is sad.
Yeah, but I am excited.
I'm very excited.
Are we dressing up? What about you?
I am. I'm dressing up.
I don't know. I have to find something, I guess. It makes me look like
Yeah,
a cookie tall robot.
I'll try to slap together a costume. Mine's not too hard.
Mine's easy.
Mine came in.
Nice.
I might regret it, but I really like it.
Perfect.
Excited.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Tell everybody about patreon.com/The Umber Initiative.